Yeah, so Dalton, just talk me through like what was your thought process going into this draft? How, like, did you know how high you would be drafted or anything like that?
It changed a couple of times going into the season. I knew talking with my advisor, we were thinking just try to get in the top 10. Obviously, the higher the better. But then after going through the season a little bit, halfway through, he's like, hey, you're getting yourself up, kind of in the 7 to 8 rounds. And then had a really good playoffs and going all the way to the super regionals and performing really well. And ended up getting to go to the Cape this summer and had 2 starts up there. And he's, kind of about a week or two before this draft started, he said, hey, you're probably going to go in the top 5. He said, that's where we're looking at. And so I knew top 5, but I was thinking in my head probably 4 or 5, not necessarily third round. So that definitely, was caught me off guard for sure, but it was definitely exciting.
Yeah, it definitely sounds exciting. And what was it like, when you got the phone call and you knew you were going to be drafted?
I mean, when I got the phone call, I guess, because second day, the third round was the first round of the day. And I got the phone call, I went and sat down and the first pick happened. I get a phone call from my advisor. And he said, he asked me, would I take something in the 4th round with the Red Sox? And ended up, we kind of talked about it a little bit and ended up working out where ended up getting, in the 3rd round. So it was, crazy, but it was exciting. And, it's something I didn't think I'd ever be in the position of, but I guess hard work pays off.
Just kind of walk me through, you went to 3 colleges over your career. What was the kind of major differences between each program and what did you take away from each?
The first year, everybody going from high school to college in general, and it was a Division I. So, it's already a stepping up, but it was COVID year, so that was kind of a bummer. But I got to throw against a University of Lafayette team, which was top 25 my first start, game 2 of the season. So that was a great learning lesson, and then got to throw at LSU that year before COVID hit. So it was just a good kind of just a blueprint of seeing where I stand up against decent competition and seeing where I really stand in that spot. And course, COVID hit. And so I was a 2-way actually at Southeastern Louisiana my first year. And I ended up just kind of thought the pitching route was the best way to go. And if I wanted to pursue play baseball as long as possible, I felt like pitching was the thing. So I told them going into the spring that I just wanted to focus on pitching. So, which was hard to really do that, in season kind of. So ended up doing that. And then when COVID hit, I told them, I was like, hey, I feel like I should, kind of step down from the Division I level, go JUCO, and be my first year focusing on pitching. And so I can just really, kind of ramp up and, just kind of don't let the game speed me up too much being in the JUCO level, and just kind of get my feet underneath me and just become a better pitcher and starter pitcher, and ended up being the best decision for me. I ended up making good friends there and good teammates that I'll, have memories for the rest of my life. And, the pitching coach there that I got to work with, Larry Knight, did a really good job with me, and I couldn't ask for a better experience there. And then obviously got the opportunity to go to Southern Miss this past year and went just straight over, being back in Division I level, and could not complain with the pitching coach I got with, Coach Ostrander. He did a great job with me and the rest of our pitching staff, and got the opportunities to be in a big position for a really good pitching staff this past season. And obviously got to run to the super regionals, and it being in spots that, that program really hadn't been in a lot of time. So it definitely was a fun road to ride, and couldn't ask for a better season.
Yeah. What was that whole experience like, just being in that big of a stage in the super regionals?
It's exciting. I love being in the big moments, and it was obviously we didn't win it, but it was still a great honor to be in that position, to be in the top 16 teams, to be left to play. And I couldn't, it was the environment back at Southern Mississippi was great. The fans, you can't beat those fans. Those are great. They're a great fan base.
What is one thing you kind of looking forward to as you go into the pros and working on stuff, different things with your pitch arsenal?
Really just keep fine tuning. You can always grow in the sport, and that's what's so awesome about it. And really get to work more on my off-speed pitches and just kind of keep fine-tuning those things, and hopefully maybe add a pitch here and there, and just kind of keep performing from there.
What's one pitch that you think you might want to add at some point?
I had a slider back. I mean, my whole career I've had a slider, but this past season I kind of got rid of it. Just wanted to focus on, having 3 pitches, being out of the bullpen, and just really focus on just kind of just being it. Because, you don't typically see the lineup more than once sometimes, but thankfully I was able to, but I feel like I didn't have to have 4 pitches to keep batters off balance this year. But I feel like being back in that, possibly in the starting role, I'd like to add another pitch, and I would feel like the slider would be it.
What's your go-to pitch right now? Like one of your favorite pitches to throw?
I've always been confident with the fastball, but I mean, I've gotten so comfortable with this changeup that I've learned over the past year, and it's been kind of a good pitch that I throw to righties and lefties. So I feel comfortable to be able to throw it in any count and stuff. But definitely, I mean, if I really needed to throw a fastball, I'd like to go up and in to a righty or lefty and just hope they get a swing and miss out of it.
Growing up, like going into the game, was there anybody you kind of looked up to try to mold your game after?
I really liked watching David Price. I mean, I enjoyed watching him pitch when he was on the Rays, the Tigers. I mean, just the way he went in his business, and I just enjoyed really watching him and the way he did his thing, really.
Kind of looking ahead a little bit, I don't know if you thought about this at all, but is there anybody, in the minor leagues or major leagues you look forward to facing at some point?
Funny to say, one of my best friends from high school, childhood best friend, he's on the Orioles organization. So maybe we'll get to run into each other. That'd be fun to finally ever, it'll be the first time I ever throw against him. So I feel like possibly him right now, just thinking on top of the head.
Okay. Who's that?
Reed Trimble. He got drafted in the comp round last year.
Okay, nice. Yeah, definitely probably end up facing him at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you got, obviously the Yankees rivalry is going to be big. So that'll be something you can look forward to as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you paid attention to that kind of rivalry as growing up?
I have. I've always been kind of a big Red Sox fan. Nothing too crazy, but I've always enjoyed watching the Red Sox and the way they do things. And I actually, being up in the Cape, got to go watch some games in Fenway. So, and great atmosphere, great ballpark. So definitely excited for that.
Nice. Do you have any favorite players you had growing up?
I enjoyed watching, obviously recently Chris Sale, when he is healthy, I enjoy watching him pitch. And I liked when Kimbrel was there. And then I was a big Andrew Benintendi guy when he was at the Red Sox for sure.
Okay. It's a shame with Sale getting hurt again this year.
Yeah, I know that's crazy. I know that's got to be frustrating.
Just some off the field stuff. What is some of the things you get into when you're not pitching?
Really I'm a big, just hang out with the guys, whether it's teammates or, friends from back home, and just spend time with the family as much as I can. Nothing crazy. Occasionally, if I need to go or want to, I'll go fishing or bowling, one or the two.
Okay. Who's some of the guys in the minor leagues for the Red Sox that you're looking forward to being on the same team?
I threw against Blaze Jordan all through high school. So he texted me right when I got drafted and said, "Welcome to the family." So that'd be kind of cool to get to actually hang out and, get to build that relationship with him a little bit.
What was the whole yesterday like with you? Did you spend it with your family and the whole day?
Yeah, I was. I'm actually down at the beach right now, Orange Beach, Alabama, and here with the girlfriend and little brother and his girlfriend, and then my family and grandparents. So it was a little bit of we came down after I got back from the Cape, and we just came straight down here and just kind of hung out during the draft time.
I think that's all I got for you. So thank you again for coming on here. And definitely looking forward to seeing how you go here in the minor leagues.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.